Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Mindy. I'm a homeschooling mom to 4. One of my kids is a high school student, and today I'm going to be showing you a biology course. So the course that I'm going to be showing you is a Christian program. The course is completely focused on a biblical perspective. The course that I'm going to be talking about is called Biology 101, and this is from the 101 series by Wes Olson. The 101 series has high school science programs for every science program that there is. If you want to learn more about any of these other courses besides the one I'm going to talk about today, you can go to the101.com to learn more. The very first one that we started out with was General Science 101, and my son actually did this in 8th grade, but this is just a nice overview of all kinds of concepts, and there are actually 14 different videos on here, so I'll show you what that looks like here. Okay, so the next 101 series that we are moving on to is biology. Now, I know that there are a lot of biology programs out there. You might have a specific company or preference that you are going to go with, but this is something that I have chosen for my son for a large number of reasons. The nice part about this program is that you can pick and choose the things that you would like to use as part of your biology course. I have specifically chosen to use the entire package. So first, let me show you all of the components of the package. So this is the main tool that you will be using, Biology 101, and it is a video series. So there are 4 different discs for this. You will need a DVD player. It comes with the course accreditation program, and I'm going to be diving into this a little bit more in a second. It comes with the guidebook and quizzes, and I'll be diving more into this. The lab report printout, and then a notebook. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a deeper dive into what everything looks like. So these are all the videos. Okay, so if you open them up, they are on DVD, and I really don't think there's any other way to access these besides DVDs. So you're going to be watching the DVDs. There's this course accreditation program. This is a notebook that they gave us. You can use any old notebook because you can see it's just plain paper, but this came with the set that I bought. This is the lab report. And then lastly, the guidebook and quizzes, and this is the thickest part of it. So let's take a look at the overview of this accreditation program. Okay, so this just gives you an introduction to everything in the course. So like I said, the video segments are part of the program. It says that they are 4.5 hours long total. And then the guidebook, which is this thing right here, says puts the visual content in print, and it adds lots of interesting additional information. So they talk about earning 1 credit for the course, and typically 1 course credit for high school is between 120 to 180 hours of work, and this program has 135 hours of biology study along with 20 hours of lab work. Okay, so this talks about all the activities that your student will be doing. So watching a video and reading the guidebook, making a notebook, doing research and lab reports, having interesting discussion questions, doing easy and fun labs, taking field trips, and then using resources on the web and our local library. So I'm just going to do a quick flip through of what the rest of this book looks like. So they have a getting started section, and again, these are the things that your student is going to be doing: watching the film and discussing with a parent, completing the activities for each week, and I'm going to go over that in depth in just a minute here. But basically, your student will watch the video segments at the start and end of each segment, they call it. And then in between, there's labs, research topics, field trips, reports, samples to collect, and books to read. You're going to the student will take a quiz and do the discussion questions, labs, and then it talks about reports here. This is just showing you what's needed for labs here. And then this is a very in-depth, almost like a checklist for what your student will do for each week and for what they call segments. And the segments are what they are watching on the DVDs. So this one here is for the very first one, Introduction. It's called Life Defined. And this is actually 3 weeks worth of work. So the second portion of the DVD they call Segment 2 Plants. And this is also 3 weeks worth of work. Moving on to aquatic creatures, again, 3 weeks worth of work. Okay, and so this just goes on throughout all of the DVD portions here. Okay. And then at the very back, it just gives you what the segments and the labs are, which go together. Okay, and that's it for that. So this is what they call a guidebook and quizzes. It's a companion guide to Biology 101. And again, with this program, you can really tailor it to fit the needs of your student. I just purchased everything that was in the biggest package because I wanted this to be a full 1 credit course for my 9th grader. So this guidebook is kind of like a textbook. So first, I'm just going to show you what the table of contents looks like. Okay, so over here, this is the first page for table of contents. And then this is the second page. And then it starts diving into the topics here, or what they call segments. Okay, so this is very nice flip through book, textbook, and the quizzes are also included in here. And then it gives the answers to the quizzes in here, so make sure you pull those out. And then it gives a works cited page. And then it also has an index. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over a sample of what your student, or what my student, would do for the very first portion. So I'm going back into the course accreditation program because that's kind of like the checklist, like I mentioned before. Okay, so let's just take a look at week 1. So it says, make your biology notebook. Okay, so my student won't have to do that because one already came with it. So this is his biology student notebook. Okay, and then you're going to watch the introduction, review with your instructor and family what was on the film. Okay, so this is the DVD component. So we're going to come down here and he is going to watch this 15-minute video of introduction, defining life and life classification. All right, after that is completed, read and study guidebook pages 1 through 6. So let's see what that looks like. So here's page 1. So you'll come over here and read page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, back to this checklist here. Find an encyclopedia entry or article on taxonomy and read it. Okay, and then moving on to week 2, out to lunch or dinner, classify the items at the restaurant table with your family. Then read a book, article, or watch a video concerning the truthfulness, accuracy, and reliability of the Bible. And then for week 3, read the creation account in Genesis chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to come back and watch the introduction again. And then study pages 1 through 6 again. And then take the quiz on page 7. So here is what the quiz is on page 7. And then look up the scriptures on page 6, what Jesus believed. So here in this book, it gives all of these that the student will look up. And then for total hours for instruction, there should be 10 hours worth of that. Now this did not have a lab component with it, so let me see if I can find a lab component here. Okay, lab work. Identify 10 plants in your yard. Find vascular and non-vascular plants. So let me show you what the lab component looks like. So here's the lab report, and it has the name of experiment, name, date, location, the materials, what they'll need, the hypothesis, the procedure, what the student did, and the results. Explain what happened and record your observations, and then drawing a simple illustration of the experiment. So there's a whole bunch of pages in here for the lab work. And again, there's not a lab for every single segment. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention was how many segments were in here, which are basically like topics. And there are 9 total, ending with biology, history, cells, and genetics. And let's see here. Let me just show you the back of this. Okay, so this is the entire program here. So these are all the different topics that the student will be studying. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. If you have any further questions about this program, please let me know down below in the comments. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.